There's something truly special about the moment you first lay eyes on a McLaren. That instant when design meets emotion and engineering meets pure adrenaline. And the 2025 McLaren Artura Spider takes that feeling and turns it all the way up. It's not just another convertible supercar, it's a symbol of what happens when modern hybrid technology, lightweight design, and extreme performance come together in perfect harmony. So today, let's dive deep into everything that makes the 2025 McLaren Artura Spider one of the most impressive machines you can buy this year, from its stunning exterior design to the cutting-edge hybrid V6 powertrain, the interior craftsmanship, the tech features, safety, and how it stacks up against rivals like Ferrari, Porsche, and Lamborghini. At first glance, the Artura Spider looks like it's slicing through the air even when it's parked. McLaren has always been known for their wind tunnel sculpted designs, and this one continues that legacy. Every surface, every crease, every vent has a purpose. You'll notice how the front end has that unmistakable McLaren look. Sharp LED headlights that stretch backward, a low aggressive nose, and wide intakes that channel cool air into the engine bay and brakes. The lines along the sides flow beautifully into muscular rear haunches, creating that sense of movement and athleticism that defines the Artura's character. But this isn't just about beauty, it's about aerodynamics. McLaren engineered the Artura Spider's body to be incredibly sleek and efficient. The car's carbon fiber monocell 2 platform provides unmatched rigidity, even with the retractable hardtop. That means when you drop the roof, you don't lose the sharp handling or stiffness that McLaren is famous for. And speaking of the roof, it's a piece of engineering art. It's a one-piece carbon composite top that folds away in just about 11 seconds, even while driving at speeds up to 31 miles per hour. Plus, it's available with an electrochromic glass panel that can switch from transparent to tinted with the push of a button, letting you control how much sunlight floods the cabin. When you stand behind the Artura Spider, the design feels even more dramatic. The rear deck is sculpted for airflow, the exhaust pipes sit high for a race-inspired look, and the signature McLaren taillights create a striking presence at night. Everything looks functional, but at the same time, it's jaw-droppingly beautiful. McLaren's color palette is another part of the experience. Vibrant tones like volcano yellow, ember orange, and aurora blue make the car pop, while more stealthy options like onyx black or storm gray give it an understated menace. Now, beneath that sleek body lies the real magic, the powertrain. The 2025 McLaren Artura Spider is powered by a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 paired with an electric motor, delivering a combined output of 690 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to rocket this convertible from 0 to 60 in just about 3 seconds flat, and it doesn't stop pulling until you hit around 205 miles per hour. For a hybrid, that's mind-blowing. The internal combustion engine alone produces an incredible soundtrack, but when it's combined with the instant torque of the electric motor, you get seamless acceleration that feels almost surreal. McLaren calls this hybrid system a performance hybrid, not an eco one. Sure, it can drive purely on electric power for about 21 miles, which is great for short city commutes or quiet early morning drives, but its main purpose is to enhance performance. The electric motor fills in the gaps in torque while the turbos spool up, meaning you get immediate response every time you touch the throttle. It's that combination of smoothness and raw power that makes the Artura Spider so intoxicating to drive. The transmission is an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic that shifts with lightning precision, and for the Spider model, McLaren's engineers had to rework the gearbox casing to fit the convertible's packaging, proof that every inch of this car was designed with performance in mind. The new rear suspension geometry, combined with the latest generation proactive damping control system, gives the car a remarkable balance between comfort and razor-sharp handling. When you're cruising through town, the Artura Spider feels civilized and surprisingly quiet, especially if you're in electric-only mode. But switch to sport or track mode, and the car transforms instantly. The steering tightens up, the throttle sharpens, and the exhaust note deepens into that signature McLaren growl. It feels alive, connected directly to you. McLaren has always been about that feeling of purity between driver and machine, and in the Spider, you can feel the wind, hear the engine, and sense the balance in every curve. Step inside, and the interior continues the same philosophy, driver-focused minimalism, executed with luxury and precision. The cockpit wraps around you with supportive bucket seats that feel ready for a track day but comfortable enough for a long road trip. Everything you need is within easy reach. McLaren doesn't overload the cabin with unnecessary distractions. Instead, it's clean, modern, and functional. The materials are top-tier leather, Alcantara, carbon fiber, and machined aluminum, all beautifully stitched and fitted. Right in front of you sits the digital instrument cluster that changes layout depending on the drive mode. In comfort, you get clear, easy-to-read information, Switch to track, and it becomes a focused display showing revs, gear, and lap timing data. The central touchscreen infotainment system is McLaren's latest setup, with improved responsiveness and a clean vertical layout. It supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, has integrated navigation, and gives access to all the car's driving and climate settings. The attention to detail is remarkable. Even small touches like the perfectly damped controls, the subtle ambient lighting, and the precision of the paddle shifters behind the wheel all remind you that you're sitting in something truly special. There's also clever storage space for small items, though of course, this isn't meant to be a grand tourer, it's a supercar first. Technology plays a big role in making the Artura Spider not just fast but intelligent. The car features McLaren's advanced electronic differential that helps distribute power precisely between the rear wheels for better traction and cornering performance. There's also a suite of driver assistance systems, including adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, traffic sign recognition, and automatic emergency braking. McLaren has managed to integrate these without dulling the driving experience, something that's often tricky in high-performance cars. The suspension and handling systems are controlled by the company's clever vehicle dynamics controller, allowing drivers to fine-tune settings independently for the powertrain and chassis. So, if you want the car to stay comfortable while keeping the throttle response aggressive, you can do that. The level of customization gives you a sense of control that's rare, even among other supercars. In terms of safety, the Artura Spider benefits from that carbon fiber monocoque chassis, which is incredibly strong and rigid. It acts as a protective shell around the occupants while keeping weight extremely low. Add in McLaren's high-performance brakes, advanced traction systems, and precise steering, and you've got a car that inspires confidence even when you're pushing it hard. Now, let's talk about the driving experience with the roof down. That's where the Spider really comes alive. Drop the top, and the V6 hybrid soundtrack fills the air. You feel more connected to your surroundings, the road, the engine, the sky above. McLaren worked hard to ensure that wind noise and turbulence are kept to a minimum, even at high speed. The glass wind deflector behind the seats helps manage airflow so you can have a conversation or enjoy your music without shouting over the wind. It's this combination of emotion and engineering precision that makes the Artura Spider so addictive. You can take it for a relaxed drive along the coast, soaking in the sun and the sound of the engine, or you can take it to the track and unleash all 690 horses in a symphony of hybrid performance. It's a car that feels adaptable, an everyday supercar that doesn't compromise on thrill. Now, of course, this level of performance and craftsmanship comes at a price. The 2025 McLaren Artura Spider starts around $273,000 in the US, but with options and personalization, that figure can climb significantly. McLaren's MSO division allows customers to customize their cars with exclusive paints, interior trims, and unique details that make each Artura Spider one of a kind. When you compare it to other cars in this segment, like the Ferrari 296 GTS, the Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider, and the Porsche 911 Turbo S Cabriolet, the Artura Spider stands out in its own way. The Ferrari 296 GTS is perhaps its closest rival, with a similar hybrid V6 setup and similar power output. But the McLaren feels more focused on driver engagement. It's lighter, sharper, and more connected. The Lamborghini Huracan, on the other hand, offers that roaring V10 soundtrack, but it's not a hybrid, and it can't match the Artura's blend of power, efficiency, and technology. The Porsche 911 Turbo S remains an icon for daily usability and comfort, but it doesn't quite deliver the exotic, hand-built feel of the McLaren. What really defines the 2025 Artura Spider is balance. It's a car that merges future-facing technology with the traditional excitement of driving a high-performance machine. It shows that hybrid doesn't have to mean compromise. It can mean progress. The electric motor doesn't dilute the driving experience. It enhances it. It gives the car that edge, that instant response that's so addictive.